our viewer. Praise the name of the Lord. How are you wherever you're watching us from? Thank you so much for always tuning in PrayerCave TV, and I'm so delighted and glad that you are being blessed with our various programs that come to you. And I'm so happy that again this Saturday you are able to join us once again on your favorite sport, the Youth Nation. Thank you so much, and may God really bless you even as we continue with today's segment as we talk matters singlehood. This is something enye watu hawaongeangi sana. It's not something that is so much spoken about, but it's a very important aspect of our lives that everyone should embrace. Why do I say this? That even when God was creating, He created Adam first before he was given a companion. So there's that thing about being single and embracing singlehood. I know there's so much pressure out here. Lazima to a point where ukiwa peke yako ukaangi kama uko sawa, like people will always ask why are you single, why are you not dating, why are you not doing this? But I would want to encourage you this evening that there's nothing good like the intrapersonal relationship, embracing, getting to know yourself better, loving yourself, taking care of yourself, and so much more. And today we have Cindy once again in the set, and she's going now to educate us more when it comes to singlehood. What are we missing? What are we not doing right? And what should we do right? Karibu sana.
Thank you, Maureen, for having me today.
Kindly say hi to our viewer tonight.
Hi guys. My name is Cindy Mutuku. I'm a psychologist. I'm born again. I'm married, and I'm also a Christian blogger. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Leo tunataka kuongea kuhusu singlehood.
Tunaanza wapi?
Any topic watu hawaipendi, but I just want us to dive into it, and maybe to start with to understand what is this thing about singlehood.
The best definition that I can give about singlehood is the state of being single. By state of being single, I mean not married.
Yeah.
People actually, society has corrupted it to mean that you're not seeing someone. But if you're dating, you're in courtship, you're not having anyone, you're still single.
Yeah.
You're only out of singlehood when you're married. The minute you just say, I do, that's when you become married. And that's when you graduate now to the married group and leave the singles.
Great. Maybe you can just tell us your journey in singlehood. How was it like? What are the experiences you got? What were the character development in your ulipata huko? Maybe you'll help someone tonight.
Wow. My story being single. It had so many ups and downs.
Okay.
Not to lie, Maureen, and also to the guests. But one of the things that I've come to really appreciate is that state of being single is really important.
Yeah.
This is why I have been raised up in church. By that I mean, from a very tender age, I knew what church is. Church was very important. To us, church was like it was a must.
Yeah.
Sunday, kwa kanisa, you had to go to Sunday school. You really had to have that relationship. From a tender age, I knew huwezi kula without saying the grace.
Yeah.
Without, there are things somehow I'll say they were culture. But really they weren't culture. I believe my parents were really trying to teach me how to have a relationship with God. So I had that relationship with God. And I can't really consider the period before like I finished high school. I only dated someone that it didn't really make sense. Ouch, I know they listen, but it didn't really make sense at that point.
Yeah.
But I'll say I had like after high school, I had a very serious relationship that I was in. It was beautiful as it began. It was all, pali uko unaambia Mungu, this is the kind of man I want. This is what I want to do.
Yeah.
That was it. I believed it was it because we both were serving in church. He was serving in his church. And it was growing until now it became, I would say, kukakwana a lot of mistrust. That's the best I would say. Because it was today, Leo, I'm with someone, but it's a problem.
Okay.
There was a specific person he didn't want me to associate with. So, and I couldn't it was hard for me. I know many people ask why, but it was so hard for me not to be around him.
Yeah.
Because we were serving in the same departments. So you find if we are in the youth, I'm a leader, he's the treasurer. So lazima we talk. I was also in the youth ministry, also served in the missions department. So we used to go to high school missions and all that. So he will still have to call me, because the pastor who was leading the missions, I was her protocol. So that he still had to call, like he will call her and I'm pigia Cindy, you get the details.
Yeah.
So now I'm trying to balance. This guy has told me he doesn't want me to work with this other friend. Like, doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I tried my best to explain that this friend, we are just friends, because he was engaged to somebody else. He was set to marry somebody else, and he had even paid dowry. But it didn't make sense. So it was one breakup too many times. So I lost count, but I would say there were like 6 hapo. Zilikuwa nyingi. Same person. Like, but I would say my wake up point from it, because ilikuwa ile relationship I was so comfortable. Like I would wake up and niko hapo na fast and pray. Okay, I'm really praying and telling God, okay, may I know you have said this is the one. Hey, God, the misitoki hapa. This is the one. Hey, so like it was so interesting. Like I think the first time he dumped me, he kind of like started seeing somebody else
Immediately.
Kinda. And a girl is so stupid, because I remember one time I asked him and he told me, this girl is at 70% and you're at 30. And instead of thinking I need to back out, Maureen, me, I was there thinking, how am I going to get to 100?
You have the 70.
No, Nishindo, you are 70.
Oh,
And
God.
it was that bad. It was really that bad.
Wow.
But I would say my awakening moment for me was, we went for a function, and this guy actually said that if he got, like, alikuwa anambia mtu, if he finds a wife, then he will settle. Me, I'm thinking we've come to this function together.
Okay.
So what am I here? Because me, I'm waiting for you to say we're getting married. But it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But I remember also another turning point. I was so broken. Because, you know, singlehood comes with you saying, you know, it comes with some stigma
True.
that like you're single. And then, hey, Mrs. by how I'll explain, but all my friends are getting married. If they're not getting married, they're finding someone.
Wow.
So I couldn't even hang out with them, because this person is having this person. Like, I'm meeting my boyfriend. You know, it became hard. But I remember my turning point was one time I was so broken and I just cried out to God.
Yeah.
Nikamwambia, by the way, I'm not living here. You know, that lying prostrate. I was there and I was like, God, I'm not living here until you come down and just help me, because it hurts. Like I was just bare. Come back to me and go, by the way, it hurts. It's painful, and I need help.
True.
And that is when he came down. That's the best description I would say. He literally came down and he gave me a word and that word carried me.
Wow.
From that floor to date. I go back and I remember that part and that was his exact words for me. I just knew that this is it. And just to icing on the cake, I will say my single period was really nice because I was able to serve God. Yeah. Just as I said, I used to serve in the missions department. So sometimes we'll have, they're called weekend challenges in high school, yes. So tunaenda hizo those 3 days from Friday, Saturday, then Sunday. So you know, if you're married, somehow it becomes hard. True. That you're leaving your house at Friday usiku. And no, this Friday usiku things would really push over. Because I remember those one school we went, we were overwhelmed because our presence that just shook other altars. So everything was going haywire. And that helped me even with my relationship with God. Like that being single enabled me to come out of my cocoon. Like I was able to just jump ship. Like I was able to serve God without any doubt, without just thinking that leo naamka nakimbia hivi. That was it. I was able to give God 100%. I was able to work on myself. Wow. Because you don't always think you're the problem.
Yeah, true.
Until now, you realize I'm a problem. I need to work on me. Because truth be told, whenever a relationship fails, the two of you contributed.
It is true.
Whether you did it 70% or the 30, ama ulifanya sijui 90 mwingine kafanya 10, it does it. You both played a part. And so the minute I realized I also took part, I really worked on myself to be a better person. So that, and I remember that one time when I was really struggling every time I want to date, God asked me, will you date yourself?
Wow, that's a good one.
For me, that was hard. Because anyone who knows me personally and anyone who knows me as a friend, they know there are attributes of myself that are hard. There are times I just want to be by myself. I can't even explain. Nataka tu nikwe peke yangu. And so like Morino ulinikosea. I just want my me time. It's like a me time. Like the TV can be off. I can just, even the radio, I'm not even doing anything. Nimeka tu enjoying my thoughts. And when that question came, I realized, okay, there are attributes about me that need to change. The attributes I need to work on and be a better person, so that by the time this person is coming, I'm better.
True.
And I'm able to be a better helper in life. So that is, I would say, singlehood for me was a fun time. I was able to wake up in the morning and have breakfast dates. Funny enough, I call them breakfast dates with God, because I'll just sit down, have breakfast, and today I'm like, okay, God, what are we talking about? I was able to journal my mind and have even hours with God to myself. So I will say they were amazing. I was able to support my friends 100%. Ikikuja kwa weddings zao, mimi nimesukuma hapo, mimi Asha. Like that, their weddings, I was by 3 a.m. sijafika kwa nyumba.
Wow.
Because I'm working on a friend's wedding. So I gave my best in all aspects of my life and my relationship. Not meaning that now that I'm married, I'm not doing it, but I still am.
Wow. I'm looking at what you just mentioned about improving yourself, because I see most of the time what we do is people are wounded.
Yeah.
So you get into a relationship whereby you are wounded, so you're bleeding on someone else.
Oh, yes.
And the other person maybe is bleeding, so you're bleeding on each other. Definitely that kind of relationship will not work. But as we started, as I was saying about the intrapersonal relationship, because we are told we can't give what we don't have ourselves.
Oh, yes, you can't.
And we are in a society where we are not taught about taking care of ourselves. Like we are not, it's not even in our culture. Your parent will not tell you how to love yourself.
Oh, yes.
How to take care of yourself. It's never about that. But we are always being taught about getting along with other people. Like ukikaa peke yako unaambiwa enda ukacheze. It is all about you and others, but not you by yourself. Maybe you can just encourage someone how that helped you developing the person that you are today.
Well, that's a good one. But I will say, just like you have mentioned, I always say hurt people.
True.
And by that, I just realized that I can't give you 100 with what I don't have.
It is true.
For me to be able to be a good friend to you, I have to work on me.
Yeah.
So, and just as you mentioned, our parents rarely talk about these things. Because I remember, just to drift kidogo, I remember when I was going through my heartbreaks, my parents never knew. Oh my God, my parents, I love you. I'm so sorry you're finding out today. They never knew, because I remember there was one time I actually even fell sick.
Wow.
And all I could remember is I've learned to hear a breakup is not a disease. Always acha mwanaume akuumize. And it was painful, but as you just mentioned, self-love helped me.
True.
That in one of my many breakups, that is where I learned to get to do my eyebrows. I got to learn how to get out there. I realized I enjoy having my nails done. Like, I enjoy them looking nice and all that. I and that was a self-love for me.
Sure.
So I would wake up and I look forward to my nail appointments, having my nails looking glamorous. I enjoyed all that.
Yeah.
And it was powerful for me, because that self-love is so important. You get to work on yourself. You get to identify you get, actually, I usually say, if you can't enjoy being by yourself, somebody else can't enjoy you.
True.
You need to learn how to be Maureen.
Which is true.
And be comfortable being Maureen. Just exercising what you love.
Yeah.
If you love hiking, imagine, get yourself, go out there, look for hiking groups.
Yeah.
If you like cycling, get yourself out there, cycle. Get to love on yourself.
It is true.
Get to do the things you love that also give you touch with the inner you, the inner child.
Sure.
Let your inner child come out to play. It's not wrong to be single.
It is not.
It's not a disease.
It is not.
It's a gift.
It is.
In actual sense.
It is.
It actually is a gift. Because I will say, just like you mentioned, singleness serves a purpose. By singleness serves as a purpose, I will mean Adam, just like you mentioned, Adam didn't get Eve until he fulfilled his purpose. So you being single serves a purpose. And you being married also serves a purpose.
Yeah,
you know, it doesn't mean that I'll get out of my purpose the minute I get married. No, it doesn't throw away.
Neither will you not fulfill your purpose because you're single.
Oh yes, I have to be. You can be single and fulfill it. Do you actually know that? Why do I say singleness is a gift? Paul had it.
It is true.
You remember, he actually says it's better to be single than to be married.
Imagine.
And it's better, it's better you serve God best in your singlehood. But
true.
I will say, get out there, self-love yourself, take self-care.
Yeah.
Usikae madhogodhanio. You know,
Please.
if don't look your problem.
Yeah. Wow, repeat
Don't
that
look
again.
your problem. If you don't have the money, atumanishi uende utengeneze makucha, uko sijui nail palace, sijui wapi. No, you can just get yourself. Start learning how to file yourself. Get to know how to smell nice for yourself,
It is true.
not for any other person. Like, you wake up every day and you're like, today I'm going to smell nice. Today I'm smelling nice for me.
It is true.
I'm making my hair for me, not for anyone. Atindo uonekane. Take yourself for dates. I did this a lot. I used to go to Java with just a book and I order. Like, I've come for a date. Naitisha hapo. I'm like, give me some coffee, some samosas. I'm seated and I'm having a good time with myself.
Yeah.
So by the time this person is coming, there's a standard I have for myself.
It's true.
I'm not falling for every Tom, Dick and Harry. You know, sometimes when you're so desperate,
Anyone
you
that
fall
comes
for
along,
anything.
It is true.
Anything. You can easily confuse something beautiful as something wrong.
It is
And you
true.
can also confuse something that is the devil has also sent. Sorry to use that example, that the devil has sent, and you think it's God sent.
It is true.
Only when you've fallen into it, you realize,
God was not in it.
this was a mistake. I failed God.
Yeah. Wow. There's something about this singlehood that people don't embrace because we don't love being contented with what we have, because people confuse contentment with confinement.
Oh yes.
Because it doesn't mean you're confined into that, but that season that you're in, just embrace it.
Yes.
Wow, that is beautiful. What are the challenges that comes with singlehood?
The challenge is, I will say, peer pressure, the societal pressures.
Definitely.
Because the challenge about being single is you can fall into pressure. You can become desperate if you don't understand who you are.
Definitely.
If you don't understand your purpose. Let's say Maureen is called to be a pastor. And today you get somebody that will kill that in you. Because uliharakisha. You know, we are in the generation where it's a microwave kind of thing.
Yeah.
You want everything when you're tunekanga food in a defrost in 2 minutes, it's out.
It's in a mushroom.
You want something to grow and span up in a very fast way, but it doesn't happen. You know, I like, one of the verses that I really love is, there's a time for everything and a season for everything. So just as I say, the challenges can be societal pressures. Wazazi wanakuuliza utaoa lini, utaolewa lini. When you go for those family meetings, hakuna mtu
Umekuja peke yako.
You know, there's that pressure, but I will really say, don't fall into it. Don't succumb. Get to understand, I am so and so, and God has called me for this.
Yes.
Do you actually know good things take time?
Definitely.
Good things take time to flourish.
It is true.
And it's because God is preparing something for you. You see, as a society, don't let them, it's better a broken engagement than a failed marriage.
Yeah.
And not because of the whole process, but you know, now as I talk to you as a single person, it's easier to help you heal than getting you to heal as a divorcee.
Yeah, sure.
You know, because you are in a hurry to get into an entanglement, a situationship. You know, don't succumb to these things. It's so easy to decide. Nowadays, it's so easy to just say, let's do a come we stay.
Yeah.
It's so easy. But is that God's intention for you? Is that God's purpose for you? It's so easy to meet any man there and decide, this is who I want to. This is, you know, this is the person I want to groom. But who are you grooming? Why are you grooming this person?
Yeah.
Why? I would actually just say, take time. Take time in the Lord. Enjoy yourself. Love on you. Enjoy, like, don't meet every person and think, this John is mine. You meet, you know, because it's a stage you're there, you're like, is Ian the one? Is Peter the one? You know, is this one the one? Is Mike the one? You know, every time hata ukai chini unajiuliza, you're not even sitting down to compose, and maybe this person is just come there. Maybe you're supposed to meet this Ian, and maybe that Ian is supposed to bring your partner.
It is true.
But wako hapo unafikiria
destiny connector.
Yani destiny helper. Wako hapo unafikiria
It should be.
This is the hubby, this is the one. But no, you're branding everyone. You're not even having time to enjoy yourself.
Yeah, true.
So don't let these pressures pull you. Get to stand firm. Get to decide, I'm me.
Yeah.
And I've actually gotten to realize the minute you enjoy being single and you're content just being a single person, that is the minute God decides, okay, now you're ready. Here he comes.
Absolutely.
So you'll rarely notice. Because I think when I was the most content, that's when I met my husband.
Wow.
Interestingly, and I didn't even know he was pulling stands. Like it took my pastors, it took my girlfriend to all be like, you know, this guy is hitting on you. I'm like, no, how now? No, because I was so busy in my purpose.
Yeah.
That was the time, you know, in your singlehood, it's that time where you just, unaweza ingia kwako 10 na umetoka kukaa tu na Mungu. You can't even explain to anyone. Like now, today you decide, today I'm just going to spend the whole day with Jesus. The only people maybe you need to tell are your employers.
It is true.
But there's somebody you're calling
I will be late.
I'll be late. No, you're just justifying you're having time with your father up there.
It is true. Wow. There's someone who said that the moment you feel like you can't, it's not a must to do marriage.
Yes.
It is the very time that you're ready for it, actually.
Yes. Because at that time, your mind is not even there.
Yeah.
You're not, you know, the thing about contentment is even the minute you get to love on yourself, is that minute somebody will not even crush your self-esteem.
Yeah.
But if you're highly dependent on someone, they can easily tell you, you wouldn't have done a better job, and you're broken. But the minute you love on yourself, even the person who's coming is just an icing on the cake.
True.
And they know, and they will know how to treat you because of how you're treating yourself. But if you treat yourself as scum, somebody will treat you as a scum. But if you treat yourself as a diamond or gold, a precious, they will treat you the same way. And you will also want somebody to treat you the same way. You wouldn't fall for every Tom, Dick, and Harry.
Absolutely. Wow, that is powerful. But there's this, I'll say, some people think that that they can't fulfill their purpose until they get married. Like utasema, I think with this purpose, I'll do it better when I get into the other stage, you know?
How do you know you're supposed to get into that other stage?
It's that assumption we usually have. I think I'll be a good person when I'm married. I think I'll be a good person when I do this and this.
Do you actually know? I know we're here to talk about singleness, but I would actually say, do you actually know that marriage exposes traits about you that you didn't know
About yourself.
about yourself? What do I mean? You will go and tell God, Aki, your son, he has done this, he has done this. The more you're complaining about this person, the more God is working on you. He'll work on that other person on that other side.
Differently, yeah.
But you see, there's a purpose. Let me try and explain this. There's a purpose that Cindy was to serve as a single person.
Yeah.
And there is a purpose that Cindy is to serve as a married person. And there's also a purpose for Cindy's marriage to serve. Those are different. My purpose is different. My husband's purpose is different. But our marriage should also serve a purpose.
Yes.
So in your singleness, there's a purpose God has given you.
True.
And the minute you rush that process, you will miss out on some lessons.
That is true.
And the thing about God's class is, you never graduate to the next level until you pass that
This
class.
word, yeah.
If God is trying to teach you patience, atakweka hapo,
And you learn.
you learn that patience. If you're supposed to learn obedience, utekwa hapo morin. Obedience is it. If God wants you to serve and be and serve in church, until you serve that purpose, because there's so many dockets you can serve in church as a single person. You don't have to necessarily be married for you to serve a certain purpose. And that is why you need that relationship with God, so that He tells you, this is what I want you to do in your singleness. Like I said, I had so much fun. Actually miss it a lot when I was doing the high school missions, because I was able to impact some lives. And nowadays I meet them in town, CBD, and they're like, hi, imagine I'm doing this course because of you. Imagine I didn't fall into this temptation because of things that you told us back then in high school. So I was able to know, okay, these are not wasted years. These are seeds I planted in the kingdom. And at the right time, I will fulfill them. You can't say that, just as I said, your singleness will serve a purpose. But until you realize that purpose, and until you're contented, it will not happen.
True.
You have to be there and be happy being single. Just being happy by yourself. That's when you now get into that other stage. So don't believe there's a purpose for you as a single person that you have to get married to achieve. Aki hakuna. God knows that you're supposed to get married at this time, and that purpose then will cross over.
It is true.
Yes.
Wow. My viewers, you've heard, even if you're single, there's a purpose that you're serving. And even when you cross over the other side, there's still a purpose that you're serving. And there's now this purpose that your marriage is serving. Don't go for so far. We are taking a very short break, and we are going to be back and continue with this interesting story tonight. So don't go far. Keep it PrayerCave TV. Welcome back, our viewer. Thank you so much for tuning in PrayerCave TV and always keeping it here at PrayerCave TV. And I know you get blessed with our various programs that we bring to you from every single day of the week. And we trust God that these are blessing to you. And welcome back to Youth Nation, your favorite spot. And today we are talking matters singlehood. Tumesema it is a topic that is not so much discussed. Si kitu watu wanaiongeanga sana, but we have seen what is the importance of being single, what are the advantages and what are the challenges. And we are going to proceed with the conversation tonight with our guest Cindy. Karibu sana.
Asante.
Now we want to know, what are these common reasons that can make a young person to remain single?
Well, there are some, but the one that comes to mind very quickly, I will say layman's language, what we are calling nowadays character development. For those who don't understand, the character development, I would actually say it's breakups. Putting yourself out there, and their expectations become unmet.
Yeah.
So as a single person, you put yourself, being single is a state where you're not with anyone. So you're putting yourself, your best out there. So when you do that, you commit to somebody, I will say character development will hurt you.
It's true.
Why do I say that? As I started by saying my story, I would actually say that I was character developed for a while. Not once, not twice, almost 6-7 times.
Wow.
By someone, one person, and I was still there. And it changed my perspective about dating, changed my perspective about courtship, and it made me withdraw from people. It made me just inikwena no woga, putting myself out there. It had really messed me up to a point I didn't know when my now husband was making moves. I was deeply wounded. God had worked on the pain, but I constantly, my mind will constantly go back. What if I go and I'm hurt again? So it's like I put a shield. So many single people nowadays actually just embrace singleness, not because they're happy, but because they're afraid of being hurt. You're afraid of putting yourself out there, so that people can see you, people can understand more about you. It becomes a cliche that you're dating somebody, after 3 months you're dumped, and then you have to start all over again. You're introducing yourself. I'm Cindy, this is what I do. Sometimes in a feeling you're wasting a lot of time. But I would actually say that it's a challenge that people need to overcome. You need to heal. And the minute you heal, it does everything for you. The minute you realize that I need to do better, I need to put myself out there. And just like I keep saying, singleness is still a gift. And what do you do with the gift? You value it.
Absolutely.
You keep it. You love on it. So I would say it's a common mistake that you get hurt one too many times. But you got to learn. Maybe there's something you didn't learn. And that's the thing about character development. Don't always look at it, or even the breakup, don't always look at it from a point of I was hurt. Look at it, what are the lessons I'm picking up from this? Because sometimes the lesson you pick will help you move on. Because it's such a pity that, as I said, God's classes you will retake. If you were supposed to learn something from that breakup and you don't learn, somebody else will come and teach you the lesson.
Character develop.
You need to pick up the lesson and move on with it. Don't stick there for too long. I have there's this program I like. It's called Criminal Minds, and people, I've watched it like 5 times. But people in that, you'll find somebody who went through a breakup, didn't heal, and somehow they became serial killers because of that pain. So it can make you get stuck in one point. You can delay a season because of where you are, because you're not learning, you're not healing, you're not letting go of that pain. So that's a common thing. That getting hurt, it triggers your mind, and you just decide
to stay
I'm safe.
Out of it.
Wacha tu nikae hapa nijipende. Sometimes it can also be financial freedom, especially for some ladies. We like to call them the alpha ladies, or the alpha females. So you will find she's got it all.
True.
So by the time pesa si shida, today if I call Maureen and I want 100,000, she's like, sawa, and I'm sending it. They don't have a problem. So you'll find even that financial freedom can make you decide to be single.
True.
And by you being single, it's not because it's just because umekuwa underrate watu. You're judging somebody. So you want somebody who's already made. And there's no ready-made person. We are all getting groomed. We're all getting shaped. It's the same way I will say we constantly say I want wife material, but your material inatoka wapi? Twende tuikate sisi wote. Kwa sijaisikia nataka husband material. Kwani hawa pia wanayo material tukate, you know. So I can't really say at you're going, you know, we're all getting shaped. You're all getting that the pruning is happening to you. So that financial freedom can also make you decide, okay, let me just be single. Because you'll find most of the times, because of also how the society is getting us to, they become they now go for what we call Ben 10s, lack of a better word. This is where the man's masculinity has been imewekwa kwa box. So now sasa siku hizi hatuna tu sponsors, tuko na Ben 10. Sasa now we want to become a Ben 10. Or you've been so hurt that the best thing you can do is decide, I don't want any commitment.
Yeah, true.
You're jumping from one relationship to another. You're a serial dater.
Wow.
You're a serial dater. Uko Twitter, sijui uko wapi, Kindle wapi, uko kuna kila kitu. You're everywhere. If today unasikia Pato amejuka akona somebody else. Like there are several people. One person is just not committed to one person. Because of such things. And that is the problem with singlehood nowadays that you are facing. People have gotten to a place where they don't want to commit.
True.
They have wameka tu kakakuni yao. Hakuna, you want to be in your own kakakun, just loving yourself. Sometimes can be dangerous. Because too much of everything is dangerous.
Absolutely. Wow. And now this single person, when does it come and they now can say that this is the right time to maybe get to the other side? Is there any particular time you can say this is it? Can you be single for a particular time?
You're like, I'm by 30. Yeah. I'm ready. Wow. That's a very good question actually, Maureen, because I can't really say by a certain age you're ready.
Yeah.
I've seen people at their 40s act like children. There are men and ladies at their 40s, they are still misbehaving. By misbehaving, they are all over gallivanting. They didn't enjoy their youth. And the thing about being ready is all about you. I will say you will really get to know with time, because I can't say that utakuwa ready by age 30. Because at age 30, you might not, hata labda that vision is not in you.
True.
Hata haijaingia. But the thing I have noticed is when you are contented is when God brings the one. When you are happy serving, it's like now God is like, now you're ready.
True.
And you can't really say at there's that casper.
No, it's time.
It's time. Coming here to light bulb. At now it's time for you to get married. No, it's a process. And if I will actually say, if you're single and you pray and you trust God, the leading is very important. As I keep saying, you will better follow God's leading than we come here back again and you're broken and you're wounding because it didn't work out, because you are so desperate, because you are in a hurry to rush into this thing. So the best answer I would give is when you're content, when you are happy being by yourself, is when things now kicking. That's when God now says, okay, now she's ready. Now he's ready. When you are happy fulfilling your purpose, you can't actually say that I can actually say that when you're very young in your singlehood, there's a purpose. Just like we had talked about it, Maureen, earlier. There's a purpose I'm supposed to serve as a single person. But have you achieved it? Do you know it? You know, it's not like you're going to be brought unaletewa mtu na inaanza kuwa shida. No, you can't keep up with everything, because at the end of it all, the most important thing I will say is your purpose is key. Are you working on your purpose? Are you cultivating your purpose? Are you doing what God needs you to do? Are you where God needs you to be? It's just not only being single. It's just not only being married. Because both of these seasons come with different challenges.
Absolutely.
Don't be in a hurry to skip a class. When you know, it's like how, other than very bright people that I know of, you don't hear ati mtu aliruka from class 2 to 3 unless the child is bright. But you see, in God's in God's kingdom, I will say you go through every class. And there's this word of our pastor keeps saying, favor is never fair. It doesn't choose at today I am going to be with Maureen.
Sure.
Maybe somebody got married, because I know as ladies, here I'll speak as a lady, we know by age 25 you want to get married. By age 30 you want to unataka ukosha maliza watoto hapo, you know. And maybe that's not God's plan.
Yeah.
God's plan is you get your person at 30. So what happens in between? Do you waste your years?
No.
Do you waste your time? You know. And I will actually say it's better to just live your life as God has purposed for it. Work through the plan of God. Outarukishwa class, because that class is important for the next season. Now there are things, now where I'm seated, I'm able to hear things and I'm able to say, okay, that I'm able to guide someone. Hapo, it's not really right, because I went through it. I know how it feels to be character developed. So when a lady will come and she's character developed, I'm able to hug and say it as well. I'm not dismissing it. I know. It's singlehood is like, I look at it from a point where it's like a flower that is blossoming. You know, when you have a rose flower, a lily doesn't blossom leo unapata tu unaonanga kidogo kanafunguka. So that is how I look at singlehood. Like the flower is blossoming. The flower of being single is opening up. So as much as it opens, you're able to embrace it. You're able to love on it. You're able to see aspects of yourself that you didn't know. Like there are things you will do now, I'll tell you, Maureen, now there are things you can do, and I'll keep emphasizing that you can't do them when you get married.
True.
Because there are certain responsibilities that come with that. But as you live out your purpose, now live it to the fullest. Enjoy it to the fullest. Love, imagine love on yourself. I would say that is it. I don't know the best way to explain other than just saying that you should just be happy, love on yourself. You know, it doesn't matter. Like I usually say, sometimes you gotta kiss many frogs, but it's not always that. It's not it. God, maybe that it is you who intended for that. That I'm going to kiss so many frogs for them to become a prince. That's not God's purpose for you. Yes.
Wow, that is powerful. Now, how can we help someone who is watching tonight? How can they navigate societal pressure and expectations that comes with being single?
The pressure is real. Where? And the pressure is getting worse and worse every day, because I don't know, there's this notion that when you're married, umefika.
Which is true.
Hujafika. You know,
it's just the beginning of another
journey. You know, it's a good, now where I'm seated, I've had a taste of both sides. I've had a taste of both sides, and I will say both seasons are important. You need to navigate them well. You need to understand your calling. You need to understand where I need to be. And the reason why your purpose and your calling is very important is because the person that God will bring in your life should align with it.
It is true.
I'll give very, very interesting examples where maybe a husband is not called to be a pastor, but the wife is called to be a pastor. So what happens if the two meet? If you find one can decide to swallow the other if they are not working in alignment, because you're expecting, because the wife is a pastor, the husband will become a pastor. But it's not always the case. I can give various examples of ladies who are pastors, but their husbands aren't. Because the calling is upon the wife, or the calling is upon the husband. So by navigating singlehood is the best word, enjoyment. Enjoy it. Love it. Embrace it. You know, it's like hata sijui explain. The blossoming part about singlehood is so important. Walking in your destination, you know, like just walking in what you're destined to do is always the key about singlehood. Is loving on yourself, working through the whole pressure, because there are so many pressures, by the way, you know. Kila mtu atakuwa hapo. Maureen, unaoa lini? At the same time, the doctor maybe has told you, you know, for females it's kind of complicated. The doctor maybe tells you you need to get a kid by next year, or else you're done. The fibroids are gonna, you know, fibroids takumaliza. So you're being told your clock is on the run. Saizo hakuna mtu. Hata hakuna mtu anakuambia kumekauka.
Uko in the desert.
Hata desert ni afadhali. Uko hata hakuna oasis. No, in the desert you can see an oasis. You can be in that position. But I will actually say, the best I will actually say is having faith in God. Because I know of so many people and so many examples. People got married, right? But in the season did not flourish. Navigating singlehood can be as easy as serving. Do you know you can delay your season of marriage because you are told to serve God no umekata. Unaona venye church haitakulipa. Because you know, serving in the church is hectic. There's church wounds. There's waking up very early. There's commitment without pay sometimes. And maybe that's all you need to do. You need to give your life to Christ and not just being born again, giving that whole time to serving. And you don't know, but maybe that serving is teaching you something. That serving is working with you. That serving is maybe hapo ndo unafaa kuonekana na utaki kuonekana. So I will tell single people, navigate it as best as you can. Don't let the pressure swallow you. Stick to your ground. Stand firm to what you believe in. Stand firm to what you love about yourself. Don't settle for anything. Don't be in a hurry. Don't be so desperate. Because it's never that serious. For real, it is never that serious that I need to get married by this time. Sometimes it can be the pressure can be such a mountain yenye hata it makes sense from your friends, from your family, from everyone. But you just need to understand your season. Get yourself out. Don't be too content. Get yourself out there. You know, it's so funny that you're in the house and you want to be seen. Where?
In the house.
Is Jesus bringing Angel Gabriel to notice you? Unataka tuletewe mwanaume atupe kutoka juu. Now here is the person. No, get yourself out there. But getting yourself out there doesn't mean you become a serial dater. Getting yourself out there can be just after church, usikue na haraka ya kukimbia. Say hi to a few people. Sasa, you know, if there's a youth,
attend your fellowship.
If there's a youth committee, usikue na haraka, kuja, attend them, meet people. As I kept saying, Mike can be your destiny helper to get you a partner. And maybe that partner ni beshte yake, maybe ako hapo shy. Ajui venye maybe amekuwa akiongea ni nataka kuona ule dem. That friend is the one making the move and making the connection. Take yourself for a date. Relax. Enjoy these things. Just being in your zone is the best humbling. It is the humbling thing that you can do. Because before you say I do, it's better to have lived a fulfilled singlehood. Lest you get to the other season and you wish you were in the other season and you start doing things like you're a single person.
I've heard Miles Monroe say there are so many single people in marriage.
Yes. Because you want to be a single person who is married, and it can't happen. Because there are certain roles you need to play in your marriage, and you can't just jump ship. Until because you didn't enjoy I've known people who wasted their youth. By wasting means they did not do what they needed to do. And by the time they're crossing over, they keep having regrets. Okay, I wish I knew. Because there was so much desperation. There was so much. Yani uliacha tu watu akakubeba. But at the end of the day, you get that the person is a narcissist. Unachapwa proper. Or there's nothing that is moving for you, and becomes very hard and very tiring for you as a person.
It is true.
But to navigate your singlehood, I will say the best is understand who you are, understand your identity, love on yourself, work on you as God works on you. Be ready to be pruned. Singlehood it's that period you can cry. Pruning must happen, whether you're married, whether you're single, whether you're in what stage of your life, it must happen.
There's someone who is watching us tonight, and you just mentioned about we're now talking about navigating singlehood, but now the pressure they have is from the parents. Like your parent is there telling you the clock is ticking. Next December, please, Christmas, usikuje ukiwa peke yako. And you know, for a parent, sometimes it gets hard to like bring them to understand, because this has not been a culture, you know, it is not our culture. So it is hard for them to understand that you're in this season and you're waiting upon God, or you're working on yourself, but they still pressure you, you know. Cindy, lazima December sasa. Angalia vile hii mambo itakuwa.
Well, I will say pressure will always be there. You know, look at it like a bottle. When you shake the bottle of soda, when you open it, pressure comes out.
True.
And when the pressure that will come with parents is highly dangerous. I will give a good example. I don't mean that by this example, I don't mean that this person messed up per se, but I'll give the example of Jacob. Jacob, Leah, and Rachel. I remember this guy worked so hard to get the love of his life. But he got somebody else. And he still worked extra hard for this other person. Have you ever asked yourself how Leah was feeling?
No.
Put yourself in Leah's shoes. You've gotten married to this person, but you know this person doesn't love you. This person is working extra hard to get your sister. And it's not even somebody else. It is your sister. So imagine the shoes that Leah had to fill because the father felt, because she's the first daughter.
The culture
culture said that she needs to go first and not Rachel. I know that was God's plan, because at the end of it all, Jesus just came from Leah's side. But you find that there was pain that this lady went through. Was it really necessary? Was it really? Did she have to go through it? Because I keep asking myself, if today my husband would do that, would I still stay there? Because you know, it was not like this guy wasn't. Even this guy was waking up early to go get this other lady, and you're there. You know, it's not like umemwambia enda uchukue Rachel. Amejitafutia, ameamua, I'm working very hard for Rachel. And that's the best example I can give about suicidal pressure. Don't let your parents push you to something that is not really necessary. Don't let your parents push you to a marriage that will cost you every night tears. Every day you're going to bed and you're crying, and you can't cry to them. You can't cry to people in the society. And to parents, I will say, let your child marry right. Let them, they will rather take time, but get the person that will love them and take care of them. I don't know if parents have seen a clip that was going around of a father that was giving out his daughter on their wedding day, and this father said, the day you get tired of her, bring her back.
Amen.
Nirudishie mtoto wangu. I will love this. I will take her back. And so many parents, I will just say, let them take their time. There's nothing that can hurt a parent today, like your child becoming a punching bag.
Yeah, true.
You've loved your child, you've taken care of this child, but because ulimwarakisha, akaoa, hakusikia.
True.
And also you as a child, don't be in a hurry to leave the nest.
Yeah.
When people can see the signs and you can't. Because people will always see a sign and pick it up and tell you, Maureen, wait. You cannot see it. True. Love is blind. Nasimanishi the series, but it is true. Love is so blind. The minute you're loving this person,
you don't even see.
You don't see. Wacha uingie huko kwingine. The red flags will now come. Now they are not blue. They are not blue flags. They are red.
Now you can see.
Now you can see them, but you can't get out.
Yeah. Because
marriage is a commitment. So I will say, wait. For both parties, the child and the parent, wait for the right time. Wait for the right person. I would rather you get married at 40. Yeah. But have a fulfilled married life than every day you're cutting onions. Every day your eyes are puffy. Every day you have to, as a lady, you have to hide the black eye because kulichapa usiku ilikuwa vita. Even as a man, I would rather you wait to marry the right woman that will nurture your ego and nurture your vision than marrying in a hurry and getting your life destroyed. Just wait. The pressure is there, but learn to wait on each other, both the parent and the child. Call yourselves to meetings. I usually say the best meeting that can ever happen is you, yourself, and I. Where uko hapo? You're the CEO. Me, you're taking notes.
You're the secretary.
You're the secretary. Myself, you're advising. You come up with the solutions all by yourself. Yeah, sure. And by the time you understand that you're getting out there, it's going to be fulfilling.
Wow, even as we come to a close tonight, maybe you can advise people outside here, how can they support these single people? Because we're in a society where even when it comes to leadership, single people are viewed differently. You know, how can we ask people tonight to support these single people in this journey they're in?
Singlehood is looked at as from different perspectives by different people. Yeah. Especially when it comes to leadership, single people are actually seen as people who don't take responsibility. Sure. I don't know why there's that perception that a married man is more responsible than a single guy. But what if this married guy is leaving the family hungry? Watu amekuwa kilala tu njaa na mjui. Amjaisikia. You know, even but this single guy is so responsible. I will say take a chance on them. Bank. If this person is single, you can still groom them. Yeah. Groom them for what they need to do. Don't just disregard someone because they are single. This person might be another kuando ameitwa akwe the best. Like you've been trying to reach certain young people, and this is the person you una disregard them say, and this is the person that is supposed to bring the yes, because they have that charisma for the young people. I will say take a chance on them. Yeah. Because I know of pastors who are single and they preach the word and I'm left, wow. So what would have happened if they were not given that opportunity? Sure. Take a chance on them, bank on them, help them, group them, lead them. If it just means working with them hand in hand, that's it. Great. I always say the best teacher is when you're working with someone because they're able to learn what they need to learn.
That's true. Yes. Awesome. Now you can just look at that camera and encourage somebody tonight, or just give your closing remarks about single.
I will talk so much about it, but I will actually say, take your singlehood, enjoy it, love on yourself. Don't let anyone deter you from enjoying your singlehood. Serve your purpose. Enjoy being yourself. Yeah. Don't hide yourself. at the same time, don't let pressure succumb you into falling into things. Don't let pressure make you fall for a married guy. Don't let pressure make you fall for a married lady. Those are people out of bounds. Inajua inakani kama watu wameisha, mbegu zimepungua, or you are here thinking ladies, the ratio of ladies to men ni kidogo, that you want to be married as a second wife, you want to swing along with the married person. But I will actually advise you, don't. Some of these times you can destroy this marriage, or you're hurting somebody's child because of how you are being taken care of. And those tears you're costing them will fall back to you. Live your single life gracefully. Serve the best you can in church. It's easier to serve as a young person. It's easier to serve as a youth than actually serving when you're married. Because when you're married, as much as you want to wear that ring, as much as you want to go saying waambie nimetoka hapa, siko hapa, it actually comes with so many responsibilities. Because the minute you get married, the order in which you serve becomes different. Now it becomes God, your spouse, then ministry. But now when you're single, it's just God, ministry. It's easier to just wake up, pack and go for a mission. But when you're married, it comes harder. It doesn't mean that you can't do it. But now is when you have to pick up yourself and now decide, this is the time I need to. You can't just leave for missions. I would actually say take yourself for dates. Love yourself to a point where somebody else coming will not deter you loving yourself. That you will just embrace them.
Right.
Be a mentor when you can. Mother those that you need to mother. Be a mother hen. Work well with what you need to do.
Right. Wow, that was so powerful. Thank you so much.
Thank you too.
I know our viewers tonight, they have learned so much, and I know you're going to embrace your singlehood and learn as much as you can in that season. Serve God. She has so much emphasized on serving God in that particular season. So I won't add, I won't subtract. And thank you so much for keeping it PrayerCave TV. Until next Saturday, I've been your host, Maureen Boyani. Bye-bye.